Good morning, everybody. How is everyone this morning? Look, I haven't even. Hi, everyone. Hi, Holly. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Suzanne. I didn't have my chat box on, did I? So, yeah, all good. I'll just change that as well because I haven't done. I was sat here thinking, oh, got plenty of time this morning. And then suddenly it was time to come on. So, there we go. How is everyone? What have you been up to? I'm just trying to sort a few things out here. Oh dear. Right. All right. So here we go. So today, Suzanne has been pre-warned about what I'm playing with today, just so that we don't um, overlap. And I can promise you it's going to be different stuff. So yeah. All right. So today I just thought that I haven't played with this now what's it called? The Inspiring Imperfections set. I haven't played with that at all yet. So it was time for it to come out of the box that it was delivered in. What was that set? Kintsugi Inspirations? Kintsugi, whatever the inspirations are, that's what we're using this morning. All right, so I will go down to the desk. Hi, Janelle, how are you? Good to see you here. All right, let me pop the camera down onto my desk where my mother's going to tell me it's untidy. But I have been doing things, all righty. So this is what I'm using today. Not so much of the stamps, but it does have some nice stamps on it and what have you. But literally, I haven't had the time to play, so I haven't done it. You Inspire Me is nice. I don't mind that one. I'm here for you. It has thanks for helping me through this difficult time. There is beauty in your history, and I know you'll get through this and be stronger for it. There's a few of those that I would have to have a particularly good reason to be using them, but you know, we have others, don't we? And we have a beautiful embossing folder, the joined together embossing folder, which I haven't used that yet either. And then we have, who was it told me to draw around it so I knew where they went? We have these dies. Now, after I'd put them all away and everything, and I was just tidying up the floor, this was on the floor. I'm assuming it's out of this. But if it's not, let me know, because that's where I've put it. It's the only one I've had out this morning, so I don't know where else it would have come from, unless it's fallen out of one of my other packets, but I don't remember it. So we'll see. Okay, hi Marlene, how are you today? Good to see you. What's today? Tuesday. Are you on Facebook, Mum? She usually is on a Tuesday because my brother plays golf. All right, so this is the card we're going to make today. It's not an extremely difficult card by any standard, but it's really pretty. It doesn't stand up very well on the glass mat. It tends to, slip back, but that's the card that we're going to make today. I believe it was a Susan Campfield one. I often copy stuff that I've seen and then don't know where to go back and find it again. But this one does have Susan Campfield on it. So this was the one I did this morning, and I did that in the blues. So I thought for this next one, I don't actually have pretty in pink paper, I found out. So I'm going to use the cloud cover, with the Pretty in Pink, and I'm going to use this little beautiful jar. All right, so we'll get with it because I haven't started any of the cutting, not for this one, so I will do that. All righty, so we're going to need one piece at 4 1/4 by 7 1/4. Now I pulled a piece off of there, yeah, there. 4 1/4 by 7 1/4. And that's going to be scored at 5 1/2. So let's go 5 1/2, and we'll score that. Give it a good score. So that's that piece. I'm going to cut it all first, and then we'll so the next piece I want is 4 1/4 by 1 3/4. So I don't think we're going to get it out of there. So we're going to need 4 1/4 by 1 3/4. So that's that piece. We're going to need 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. I will get that out of there. Yep, that's the 4 1/4, and I want it at 2 1/4. Are you right, Kev?
Yeah, I just shut my door on you.
Oh, okay, thanks. I must have left my door open. Yeah, 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then I need a piece of basic white, which is 4 by 5 1/4. Let's see what I've got over here. So 5 1/4. Did I do 5 1/4 by 4? Oh, how come you can't get chat on YouTube? I didn't have my chat on to start off with, Suzanne, if that helps. I had it turned off accidentally. Now what else do I need? Right, so then we're going to go to the designer series paper. And I think this is really, really pretty. And I think it does go with the cloud cover quite well. Hi, Lynn, how are you? Oh, enjoy your family, Kim. Have a lovely time. There's nothing better, is there? Have a great time. We'll miss you, but hey, have an awesome time. All righty. So now we're going down to the designer series paper, and we need a piece of 2 inch by 4 inch. Oh, popped out. 2 inches by 4 inches. And this is actually the other side of what I used last time. So 2 inches by 4 inches, and then we need 2 at 1 1/2 by 4. So we need, mark on there, 1 1/2 by 4. Just let me check that. Yep, that's might be a bit crooked. Let me have a look. 1.5. Yep, so now we have those two pieces. And then last time I used a piece of gold behind it. I can do that again. Let's see if I can find a piece of gold. Just a scrap. I've got what I call a flat gold, so I'll use it. I'm not sure where it came from, so we won't mention that, will we? 2 1/8 by 4 1/8. So we're going to go 2 1/8 by 4 1/8. Now, let me see. There was another piece that I cut that was. Did I cut that too short? No, 4 1/8 by 2 1/8. That is correct. There will be another piece I'll cut, and it's out of the DSP. It's out of the card, and it's the one that I put this on because I felt when I put that on top of there, it was way too busy. And I think the same is going to happen here. If I put that on there, I think it looks a bit busy. So I might cut another piece of the cloud cover. Ah, okay, that's good. Good to see you. I think that just, might be a wee bit too busy behind it. What do you think? Let me know. And I'll make that decision afterwards. All right, I don't need to make that decision right now. Okay, so that's all the pieces cut. Now, one thing this does say is to put this in here after you've made the card, which to me was very scary because quite often I miss stamp or something like that. So what I may do is I may sort of try and stamp that before I put it in. Alrighty, so we're going to take this piece and we're going to fold that flap over and we're going to burnish it really well because we want that to sit nice and straight. And then we're going to add just one of the 1.5 by 4 pieces across there like that. So I'm going to stick that down. Thanks, Suzanne. Yeah, like I said, I haven't even played with this yet. And I thought, well, today's a good day. And I'm just going to put that across there, giving it a nice border. Getting it as straight as possible. So that's that. Okay. So the second piece of that gets, you can see these two are the same size. So the second piece gets put onto there. So I might as well do that. Haven't seen my mum pop up yet, so maybe she's not on. Okay, so we're just going to put that piece on there. Now this is going to sit down here. And then this little area here is going to sit like that. So you can see it's fairly straightforward. It's really, you know, quite easy. So now this is where the instructions say to adhere this here. So I can sort of understand it because you've got to get this on here and this on here and this across the bottom. So I think if I'm going to stamp anything in there, I think I'd like to do it now. And I will use the same one as I did before, because it was the one that I didn't mind out of that. Oh, sorry about that. I hit the. So I will stamp it in. So we're using pink and grey. What will I stamp it in? I don't think I have pretty pink. Or do I? Yes, I do. Pretty in pink, is that the one? No, it's not pretty in pink. It is petal pink. Do I have petal pink? That one's bubble bath. I actually think that petal pink, there it is. I think that might be two. Let me try that on a piece of card. I do have it in the ink. I just don't have it in paper. I'm trying to actually get all my papers up together. I ordered 5 or 6 packs the other day, and would you believe today it pops up that there is free postage. So my dog doesn't like storms either, Roz. She attaches herself to me like you wouldn't believe. That's how she started. And you know, like, she never. I might use that. It is quite light, but I still might use it. I'm just giving myself a, before I stick anything on, that is. So that, and that, and that. That gives me this space here. So, and that just says, you inspire me. There we go. So I think I'm pretty safe now to put that white bit on. So I'm just going to attach that to the inside. Yeah, it was funny because Molly was really good with storms. We used to say how good she was. And then I had my son's dogs here once, and we did have quite a big storm. And his older dog was absolutely petrified. So Bingo would shake, and I suppose to put it in human terms, he would hyperventilate. Like he just couldn't stand it. Hi, Annika. How are you? Watching from the Netherlands. Okay. Yes. So early morning over there. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to layer up these 3 pieces. So the gold. Now, if I had thought about it, I probably would have cut something out of there, but I didn't. So we're just going to get a whole piece of gold. Popping that onto the cloud cover. Now, when you sort of look at cloud cover on its own, you think, oh, I'm not sure. But when you start matching it up with the other colors, it's really nice. It's really quite pretty. Okay. You don't see a lot of it on this. And then we're going to put that other piece straight on the top of there. and trying to get it there straight away, because otherwise we get gold in the glue on the gold. All right, so that is going to go there. Now, to put this on, we need some dimensionals at the top and we need some dimensionals at the bottom, because that is going to sit sort of like central, and this is coming in underneath. So that's how that's going to be. So what I want to do is I want to put 3 across the top and 3 across the bottom, because I like to have plenty of dimensionals. I even emptied my rubbish bin this morning. I was getting on so well until I suddenly realized, oh my goodness, I'm supposed to be on. Almost 2 a.m. Oh, wow. When I was over in the UK, I tried to get on for different stuff. But Suzanne's at 10:30 was 7:30 at 10:30, 10, 9, 8, 7. Yeah, it was 7:30 at night the night before in England. And so that was around about dinner time. So I never got to do, to get onto that one. And then if it wasn't dinner time, we were out visiting. So that made that a bit difficult. I didn't really, I've taken those off and I didn't mean to. Yeah, so I didn't really get a chance to come on. I'd hoped that I would. And my friend Sue and I had sort of planned that she would hold a camera and I would make a card from one of the kits that I took with me. But you know what? That didn't happen either. So, yeah. All right, now this piece, what I want to do, I haven't even got a piece of, it's probably good if you can actually hold that piece down, because you're trying to hold this piece, and that piece is going to move. So maybe a tiny bit of washi tape might just hold that in place, just for the sake of it not moving around. And then we put this, line it up with the edge, get it, see, that moved. Let me put another piece under there. I didn't do this last time. I did it, put another piece there. I'm not sticking it down hard. And then line this up. Lined it up right with the outside, about sort of central to both, and just lined that up and stuck it down. And now, when I get the washi tape off, and where'd that other piece be? Under there, didn't it? Take that piece off. And that gives us the basis for the card. Okay. Hand pink waving. I'm not sure what that means, Sheila, but I'm sure you two do. How are you, Sheila? Good to see you. All right. So that's what we've got there. Now, this is where I'm going to ask you, do you think that that gets lost on there without another piece of cloud cover? I think I need to put another piece of cloud cover under there. And if I measure what I did last time, because I put a tall flower in it, That's my ruler. I did it 4 inches by, what is that? 4 by 1.5. So let's cut a piece of 4 by 1.5 and see if it looks better. Is that gonna, am I gonna get 4? By 1.5. Now, if I put that on there, that just sits in there, or I can take a little bit off and then pop that on there. Does that look better? I think it does. I think that looks much better. Yeah, it did get lost and was hard to see. That's what I thought. So I thought about, you know, putting it on this, and then I'm actually going to put a very similar color flower. What I did was I actually fussy cut. On the first one, I colored and die cut the flower, but this one I just fussy cut that one out there. It may be just a little bit too light. I might just have to add a bit of color to it, which I think I will. But I definitely think that that needs to have that blue underneath it. Trim it down a tad. Yeah, I thought that too. So if I take 1/8 off of that, 1/8 may be a bit too much, but we can see. So we don't need a lot off like that, so that we can see a little bit of the pink as well. I think that will work. I don't want to take too much of it off, because if I leave this flower the way it is, it's going to be very pale. But what I could do is, that's pink, isn't it? What pinks do I have? I could add, see, that's a different pink altogether. So no, I'm not going to do that. I was going to add a bit of color to it, but I don't have. What do I have in here? This is my Stampin' Write markers. That might be. Let me see. That's very similar. So what I might do is just sort of add a little bit of extra color in here with this, with the Stampin' Write markers, just following some of these petals. Not doing anything too much, but just to give it that little bit of brightness. So I really, there, that sort of perked it up a little bit, didn't it? We can pop that in there. I think that looks a bit better. Hi, Sue. All righty. We've got a good group here today. It's good to see everybody. Wonderful. All right. So now I did have my craft knife on the table, would you believe? And I had a bit of a clear up and now it's missing. But what I want to do is I want to stick this flower into the pot. So don't watch, because I'm going to pierce that with that. And then I'm going to cut just a little slit so that the flower will actually, the other one was on card, wasn't it? It made it a lot easier. I'm going to slip that in there like that so that it looks like it's actually coming out of the pot and not, I don't want to put it glue on there really. What will I do? Let me put a piece of, not that one, not that one. Just a piece of tear and tape across it just to hold it in place. So there we go. There's the flower in there, and it's just going to sit on there. The flower does look pretty, doesn't it? It's sort of enhanced a little bit now we put that color on it, which is good. So what I want to do now is I want to sit this one up. That one I put flat. So I'm going to put the little extra piece of blue that I cut. I really felt like I needed. I'm going to pop that down flat. So is anybody going to make use of the free shipping over the next couple of days? I wish I could, but I just can't because I've just put another order in and can't do another one because next week we know what's going to happen for the demonstrators. We're going to get at the end of the month. We're going to be getting the new stuff come in, and you know what that's like. You got to have some at least, haven't you? So, all right. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals on here, and of course I have to probably do a few too many, but I really hate the thought of it. You know, if I put this in the post, I don't want it squished when they get it. So we'll take, what happened there? That is not even sticky, that one. But I don't know if it's got a, nothing wants to come off of it. That's so weird. Let me take that one off and put another one on. There we go. And that one. So now I'm just going to just pop that on there. And have that popped up. So that's the card today. Didn't take long at all. I've got another cat in here. Don't think so. So they stand like that. So we've got the two different, we've got the darker and we've got the, you'd put in an order last week as well. Yeah. Oh no. It's nothing worse, is there, than just putting the order in. Like I can't believe it because I just said to my husband, I'm trying to get my I'm trying to get the my, what do you call it, card stock up. Okay, Sheila, not a problem. Thank you so much for coming in and seeing us today. You like the vase with the flower in a car? Yeah, I must admit, I think it's one of those that oh, it didn't sit straight, did it? It does, but yeah. It was one of those that I must admit I left it until sort of the last. I got all the other ones that I wanted, and then I got this one. Take care, Sheila. Yeah, so it took me a while to sort of think, oh yeah, all right, I'll get that. But when I did, once I had, I was sort of like quite pleased that I had. I can see what's wrong there. All right. If you notice with this one, like it's minimal. But do you see how that's just slightly out there? And remember how I taped this one down to get it in the right place? So that is obviously the best way to do it, is to tape it down. I mean, I don't think anybody would notice that, but I do. All right. So, yeah, so we've got the darker one and the lighter one. Which one do you like best? Yeah. Do you know, Suzanne, you're going to get a laugh now because look what I bought. And what did I say I wasn't going to buy? So I didn't buy the paper. I didn't buy anything else. I just bought the arches because I've seen so many things with the arches that I can now see a use for them. Before, I really, sometimes you look at stuff and you just don't see a use for it. And that's how I was with the arches. And Suzanne was so taken with them, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I can't really think what I do with it. And then she made a lot of stuff with them, and other people made a lot of stuff with them. It's like, change it. I can't do that. I only have one child. Yes, Holly, I still haven't used them, but I saw so many people using them, and I've got so many ideas from watching other people use them that, yeah, okay. I bought them, but I only bought the die. Ah, looks like I'm back. My connection disappeared. Sorry, people. You're in two minds about the arches, but not sure if you would use them. There are so many great ideas. And you love the arches, Inika. I know Suzanne really likes the arches too. Yeah, I knew that was coming. And it's funny because, we all like different things, don't we? So it was a bit of a shorter one today, but let me come up to the, oh goodness. Now I've just put that down. It's all fallen over. So I also bought the Jolly Holly. Yeah, the Jolly Holly here. I don't usually get a lot of Christmassy ones because, they're in this Christmas and then they're gone. So I prefer not to, but I'm doing Linda's class with this one. So I thought, well, I'll just make this do as my Christmas cards this year. It's got a few nice little bits and pieces on it. And obviously, bright and happy Christmas wishes. See, I like that. May the spirit of this season bring you hope, happiness, and love. That's the sort of sentiments that I love. Halloween, use them as tombs. Oh dear, oh dear. I love the ideas. You're not sure of the Jolly Holly, Suzanne? Yeah, I've only got it because I'm doing that class. I possibly wouldn't have got it. It's got the embossing folder. I mean, I'm sure everybody's seen it at some stage. It's a partial cut. It's not a full cut. So this is your, I mean, you can just use it flat like that, and then you can put this large die that has stuck like the proverbial to this. Does anyone else have trouble getting this off of the, someone said you should heat it with your heat gun and it will come off. How true that is, I don't know. So then you've got this huge die that will sit inside. Probably down there, Lorraine, if you tried. If you find the right way to get it in. Which way is it going to go? And that's how it goes there. Okay. So it's actually sitting in there quite well. And then you close it. And you can see it partially cuts. There's areas that don't cut. You can see it on the die where it doesn't cut. So then you get that stand up. Yeah, I think the no accounting for taste. And that's true too. Yeah, so the actual embossing folder on its own, if you wanted to do Christmas cards and weren't sort of like sure about the rest of it, it's a really pretty embossing folder. It really is. I like that. It's probably one that I'll keep hold of because, like I said, I don't buy a lot of Christmassy, stamps and dies. It is a lovely embossing folder. It really is sweet, and I do like that part. We'll see what I come up with, and whether, you know, whether I think I'll use it more than I thought I would, and that sometimes happens. You sometimes get that. You probably found it yourself. You buy something thinking, oh goodness, I'm going to use this all the time, and then you don't hardly use it, and then something else you'll buy that you think you're not going to use, and it becomes one of your favorites, and that's not my favorite going in there at the moment. All right, I'm just going to come up to the top. There we go. All righty. So, yeah, so free shipping for 3 days. And now my phone's going ding, ding, ding. Free shipping for 3 days. So that's really good news. What, I ordered something. Oh, you know, the other thing I ordered and I haven't used yet. Is the one with the washi tape. So that's something I've got to have a go with. And I couldn't resist this Sunflower 3D embossing folder. And I haven't had time to even play with it yet. But I've seen some awesome things done with this. Look at the size of it. It's huge. It's huge. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Inika. Thank you. Yeah, so absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? I mean, for anyone who likes sunflowers, now I'm on the other camera, so I've got to remember to go backwards. Absolutely beautiful. I have a friend who has everything in sunflowers, so guess who'll get a card made with that. So, you know, I've still got all this stuff that I haven't used yet, and we're going to be getting new stuff. Who's got the sunflowers? Have you got it? Have you used it, Suzanne? I just seem to run out of time. But I shouldn't complain because it just means I've got plenty to do, doesn't it? So, yeah. All right, everybody. I really appreciate it. You've all You've been great. We've had a good laugh. I love a group where you can just have a chat and it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You don't have to stand on ceremony. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to try and get my two cards done for Thursday and Friday because I have to work tomorrow, which is unfortunate. Yours is on the way. Okay. So while I've got a little bit of time, I was having some thoughts, and a suggestion was made that we should call ourselves paper crafters because we also do scrapbooking, which is very true. So Color Me Crazy Cards, the actual name Color Me Crazy, oh, thank you, Holly. The actual name Color Me Crazy Cards suggests that I'm just a card maker. So when I had my shop, I'm going to put you all on the spot now, aren't I? When I had my shop, it was called Anne Lorraine's Paper and Craft. So Anne is my first name, Lorraine is my second name. It's not hyphenated. But back in the day when I had the shop, we had telephone books. So using Anne Lorraine put me at the top of the list. So I was thinking of changing the name back to Anne Lorraine's Paper and Craft from Color Me Crazy Cards. All right, thoughts. What do you think? I know what Suzanne thinks because I've actually spoken to her about it. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do it or not, but it would be really interesting to know your thoughts on it if you have any thoughts on it. So instead of being Color Me Crazy Cards, it would just be Anne Lorraine's Paper and Craft. My local people here know me by that because that's what my shop was called. But yeah, just a thought. Have a think about it. And if you've got any suggestions, let me know. But I agree that possibly paper crafting should come into it as opposed to just card making, because I do scrapbooking as well. I've done that for years. I just don't do a lot of it these days. I think back in the day I did so much that it was one of those things that I dropped. So yeah. All right, everyone. It has been. You used the sunflower? Oh, I'm gonna have to have a look at it and see how I get on with it because I love it. I love the way it's on there. You see how this way, Lorraine. See how it's sort of the light and the dark like that? I would love to get that effect. So yeah. But anyway, it's sort of, to me, it looks like silver, and where some of it's caught the light up here and here, and some of it hasn't. You think either? Well, Inika, thank you for that. I mean, I'm still, both are nice, but you could be Color Me Crazy Paper Crafts. Now, I didn't even think of that one. Well, we did, didn't we, Suzanne? We said that, but I said it didn't flow quite as nicely. Color Me Crazy Paper Crafts. Oh, I will think about that one. I stuck this on Susie last night. I rang her and said, this is going through my head and I need some outside. I like having it paper and crafts. A rose by any other name. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's really difficult, but this is what we're thinking, like along the lines of, you did say that last night, Suzanne. You did say Color Me Crazy Paper Crafts, and I didn't think it flowed quite as well as like Anne Lorraine's Paper and Craft, but then that comes easily to me because that's what my shop was called. So I mean, I used it every day, so it comes easy to me. But Color Me Crazy Paper Crafts, yeah, I mean, if I Yeah. I think a lot of people like the Colour Me Crazy, and where I got that from, there's a shop in where is it? Just north of Mackay, can't think, Proserpine. And my husband and I used to put our LED lighting in there when we used to do LED lighting. We used to put that in there, and her shop was called Colour Me Crazy, just Colour Me Crazy. So I'd always liked it. I always thought it was a bit whimsical, a bit, yeah. Anyway, I will have a think and decide what I'm going to do. There's the 2 cards for today. I hope you like them, and I will be back on Thursday. I have work tomorrow. All right. Hopefully I'll catch you on Suzanne's live very shortly. I'll see you all then. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Bye.